In this tutorial, we're going to talk a little bit about navigating the Moodle site. Now that we're inside an actual course, let's talk a little bit about what we're looking at here. Directly in front of you is your outline. This is where you're going to post all of your information and activities for your students. Now right now, your course is set to what is called a topic outline, with just one topic, and that's what this number 1 is here. Later on, we're going to discuss how to change this to a different format and to add more spaces for you to work with. Eventually, we're going to go more in depth about these blocks on the left and right hand sides. But for now, I'm just going to give you a little summary of them. First, you have the people block. This people block will allow you to see all of the students in your course. In this block, you're also able to contact the whole class or each student individually via email. The next block is the activities block. In Moodle, activities are things you ask your students to do for you. This may be to submit a paper, maybe to do a quiz, contribute to a forum, etc. As you create these activities for them to participate in, they're going to appear here in this block. You will be able to get a comprehensive list of every single activity that you have assigned to them. This will be very useful later on in the class when you need to find something and you don't want to go looking through every single thing you've assigned that semester. The next block is the administration block. As the teacher of this course, you're able to use this menu to customize your course settings. Also, you can manage your gradebook, back up and restore your course, and organize your files. All things we're going to learn a little bit more about in future videos and handouts. The next block is called the My Courses block. And this is basically a list of every single course you're involved in on Moodle. If you're teaching multiple classes, maybe you're in a club, maybe you're involved in some sort of group that has a Moodle page, all of them will be accessed here under My Courses. Now moving on to the right side of the screen, at the very top, your username appears right here. Later, we're going to learn how to customize this so you can be more available to your students with contact information. Below your login information, you have two things here that are very important. You have Switch Role To and you have Turn Editing On button. The first thing we'll talk about is the Switch Role To button. This allows you to toggle back and forth from what you see to what someone else sees. This is really useful for when you want to see a student's perspective from something you have created. Let's say you created an assignment and you want to see what it looks like from the student's eyes. You would click this drop-down menu and just select Student, and Moodle will basically switch over to what a student sees. The Turn Editing On button is integral to Moodle. Anytime you want to make any changes to your course, say maybe to add a resource, to update work you've already submitted, anything like that, this is where you would have to go first to click in order to make any of those changes. This button can also be accessed on the administration menu right over here, and they work one and the same. So if you turn the editing on button here, you can turn it off over here and vice versa. Moving down, we have our calendar. And if you assign anything that has a particular due date to it, it'll show up here on the calendar. The latest news block can be used as a place for any announcements. If you want to welcome your class or maybe remind them of an upcoming due date, you can do all of that here. The Quick Mail block is an easy way to contact your entire class via email. The difference between contacting your students through Quick Mail and contacting your students through People is that you're able to add an attachment in your email in Quick Mail. Upcoming events is very similar to the calendar, where if you have any events coming up, it will show up here. And lastly, recent activity will basically show you when your students last logged into Moodle, and they can also see when you, the teacher, last logged in. This concludes the tutorial for basic navigation of the Moodle site.